I look sleepy. All right. About to put some new strings on my Gibson SGJ. If I'm not too tired. Also the Les Paul back there. Whoa. I'm trying to get, it's hot. It's like 100 degrees. Like 100 degrees here in Los Angeles. So I'm about to use the classics right here. All right, here we go. So to switch the strings, I'm going to be using my wire cutters. These are like $5, and if you have a pair of these, boy oh boy do they save time, because you have your winder here, you have your cutter here. Speeds up the process. You just want to make sure not to move too fast with it. But usually what I do is I'll loosen up the strings first. These strings haven't been changed in forever. You can probably kind of see it. These strings have not been changed in a long time, probably about 2 years, I would imagine. Hey, what's up? How are you? See, Jonathan, how's it going? Hi, Aaron, what's up? Okay. Hey, Waffle. Probably, my favorite instrument to play is probably the guitar. I really like the piano too. Oh, thank you, Aaron. That's so sweet. Thank you so much. How was your day today? So I always loosen up the strings first. I usually put my high quality, expensive strings on the Les Paul, you know, just makes sense. And the good old fashioned strings on the SG. But where it gets pricey for strings is with bass. My bass strings are normally like $30, $30 to $40 for a pair of strings. Totally different world than guitar strings. Even for the nicest guitar strings, you're probably going to spend no more than, what, $15? I have these one upon the Les Paul. I think these are like, these are pretty high end, I believe, if I remember right. And I think, oh, you can't tell without the box, but I believe those were like 15 bucks. But bass strings can really add up. I gotta change those as well. Cannot, one of my least favorite things to do. So what I do is, where it gets curly right here, super simple. I'm not going to reuse these strings. So just, I just snip off this part right here. And then that's simple. I've got my little cleaners over here too. So I wanted to come live while I did this. How old are you, Waffle? I need a rag. Well, I can get that in a minute. Well, I've got a rag right over here. 1 second. Okay. I'll show you guys this stuff right here. This is the problem. I spent a bunch of money trying to be fancy and got a bunch of different fret oils. And I don't know what it is about these oils. The tops cannot stay on, and this is what happened. So I'm going to try to use it, but it's going to be a little messy. Same thing with tape machine cleaners. They always seem to somehow, the top pops off and it leaks everywhere. What's up, Bat Source? Yeah, it's good to... How often do you change your guitar strings? It's good to change your guitar strings like every month, I would say, ideally, to 2 months. Or every guitar player is going to be a little different. Or between songs in some cases. It depends on how hard you play too. I play very, very hard. Very aggressive. Actually, in one of the next videos, I'll be doing a little bit of guitar because I'm going to be testing out a brand new wireless system, which is pretty cool, on the guitar. I can't wait to try that out, but I thought it'd be best to put some fresh strings on first, and also I'm working on a new song, so I'm kind of sweating right now. If I missed any comments, I apologize. Hold on just a minute. All right. It's such a hot day. Is anybody else hot where they're at? I'm like sweating already. I'm not a huge summer person. Who likes summer? Because I don't like summer. I'm a fall person. I love fall, like November. Oh, it's cool over there? That's good. Yeah, I like spring too. Spring is nice. I just don't like towards the end of spring when it starts heating up, and the very beginning of spring when it's too cold. And I'm always like, once the weather is perfect in spring, I'm like, oh man, it's not gonna last. It's about to get hot. Yeah, it's a Midas. Good eye on that. Yeah, I've got the air. If I had the air on in here right now, it'd be loud. So what I normally do when I change the guitar strings, I don't know about you guys, pretty sure we have at least 1 or 2 guitarists, is I make sure I usually only do 3 strings at a time. I want to avoid having to adjust the tension rod and balance out the neck. So I try to work fast. I had one time, I had the yellow guitar back there, and I left the strings off for like a whole week, I think. I was tired and just busy, and cleaned it really, really good, polished it, and I'm like, I'll put on the strings when I feel like it later. Or actually, I think it might have been because I had strings that were in the mail, and they were late. Yeah, that's what happened. And I'm like, it's okay, you know. And so it was late, the shipping was delayed. And so I left the strings off, by the time I put the strings back on it, the neck was totally warped. Had to take it to a professional. It was not fun. Now I have all the tension sets and the setup tools and all of that, and the measuring rods, and I don't like doing it. Only when it's an emergency. And the black one, the Les Paul, it even says they don't recommend doing it yourself. I know some people don't mind doing theirs themselves, but not for the Les Paul. So that one, fortunately, I haven't had to do an alignment yet. But when I do for that one, I'll bring it in. This one, I will align it, but I don't like doing it very often, doing a setup. Only maybe once a year. It's about due right now, but all right, I'm not actually going to use guitar polish for this guitar because it is all wood. What did you say? Oh, use canned air? Use canned air for your guitar? Interesting. Canned air is expensive. You said... Oh. Which guitar am I using right now? I'm using the Gibson Les Paul Standard Junior. Oh, look at this. This is... Goodness gracious. I wouldn't want to touch this, but we'll see. I don't want to throw away this whole bag. I think this kit was like $24.99 or something crazy like that, so I don't want to just waste it, but it looks like it's going in that direction. Look, I didn't know this was going to be this kind of live where gooey. I don't know. There's probably like a niche for like glue. And something like this always happens during a live. All of that, all of this goo, just for there to be no oil. And this was full when I put it in the bag. Full. I think this is what, $19.99? Allegedly, it's like some of the best oil that you could get. I'm not happy with that. I'm not happy with this at all. And see, I gotta be careful, because what if a whole glob comes out, right? It feels like it's full. That's so weird. It must be all like, they didn't tell you that it expired. It must be like so heated up that it just like turned into like a solid goo, because it looks like it's up to here. All right, so that's, thank goodness this is not a guitar string changing tutorial. Yeah, I gotta go wash my hands. Oh, great. All right, well, I can't use this rag anymore. I might need to wash my hands to come back. I don't know. I don't want to leave. You said tuned it at the right time. Shake it hard. I remember I did a demonstration video with the tape machine years ago when I first got it. I was all excited, and I ended up like breaking it during the demonstration because I wasn't as focused. That's a funny video. Yep, that sent me right to the repair shop. Because as I'm doing the demonstration, I'm showing the tricks. The tape gets caught and it starts pulling, and yeah, it was crazy. All right, let me see if this is weird. What substance did they use to make this? It's not like glue, and it's not like oil. It's like the worst possible combination. All right. So let me see about this one. Does this still work? Okay, it looks like this has some movement. I think this one will be okay. This is Stringer Fuel Cleaner. I'm gonna have to go wash my hands, because this is not gonna work. It's turning into glue. And it's hot. I'm gonna throw this in the bag. This is gonna go in the trash. What's within the last year? Oh, that video was like 4 or 5 years ago. That was back in like 2018 or something, I think. No, I think I put up that video in 2020. 2021? 2021 or 2020. All right, I'll be back in like, I wish you could hit pause. Can I hit pause? I'll be back in, this is turning into ASMR. I'll be back in like, I'll be back in about 1 minute. About to go switch, about to go wash my hands really quick and get a new rag. 1 minute. Alright, I am back-ish. Okay, that was not oil. That was not oil. I don't know what. 1 second. There's always some type of technical difficulty with the stuff. That was not oil. I had to actually use isotropic alcohol to get it off, and I had to wash my hands with it 3 times, and it's still sticky a little bit. So I have that for my tape machines. That's not oil. I don't know what that, like, it morphed into some new substance. Like, I don't know if it's made with like polymers or what. Like, you said you like how I have a bunch of racks and filled the, what? For fun. I have a budget rack tuner back here. It's a Korg. But I think I've seen them used. They're really cool. I think I've seen them used for like $20. And that thing is incredible. A friend gave it to me a few years back. Yeah, I think they go used for like $20. 15. Those they came out in the 1980s. It's a really good unit though. Dang, I'm gonna need more isotropic alcohol here in a minute. But hey, we'll work with what we have right now. Now I just want to hurry up and get this stringed, because that was crazy. Now you guys see why I don't like tuning my. How do you get a warm and punchy sound? High sound of music. Are you following the live stream? I'll answer the question. I just turned on Super Chat. And Aaron came through. Aaron's really sweet. Super cool. Ooh, good idea. I do have some extra distilled water and I'm going to need it because this is almost out. I had to use so much of it just to get this thing clean. Yeah, analog gear, you said you don't like having it when you have to set it up. When you do your mixes, it can be a little bit, yeah, it's one of those things that you may not always be in the mood for. But it's just part of it. I just think back to Bob Clear Mountains. I'm sure you've heard of him. He mixed Born in the USA by Sting and a bunch of other songs. Mixing legend. He talks about how they used to set up for 6 hours, I think it was, every day. And then he had to unset up 6 hours or so, 4 to 6 hours every single session, every day. And when I heard that, I thought, you know, it's not that bad. So hopefully this, I think I'm halfway done with stringing the guitar. I'm just doing a clean on it with the spray. Cleans, polishes, waxes, and protects. I'm kind of being careful where I put the spray. The Les Paul, believe it or not, is going to take longer when I do change the strings, which will probably be tomorrow. That's going to actually take longer because I have to use brass cleaner for the gold to make it really shiny and pretty. And that can actually take a minute sometimes. It can be a little messy. But this is all wood, so it's not that hard. I just have to make sure I get the neck really good. Make sure there's no residue from whatever that plastic oil stuff was. Yeah, 6 hours to set up for a mix is what he said. Yeah. They asked him, does he mix amp? Does he miss those days where he was so hands-on? He's like, no. Clear Mountain's chill. Yep, he's the Apogee guy. Yep. I didn't know if he was still doing Apogee or not. Probably is. Was he like 80 now? 79, 80? Grazie. Thank you. Who's your favorite mixer? Actually, what's your favorite band? I should ask what your favorite song is by me as well. What's your favorite band? All right, making pretty good progress. This will be fast. What is your favorite band, or what band did you grow up listening to? Do you not like music, Redskin? Is that your name? I think it looks like are you new to the channel? I don't think I've seen your name before. Yeah, I said, what was your favorite band? You said Nickelback? Really? I think you're the first person I've ever heard say Nickelback is their favorite band. I remember that song, This Is How You Remind Me. That was one of the greatest songs of that year. That was what, in 2000, and let me see if I can get this right. 2000, 2000, right? It was either 2000 or 2001. Had to have been. It's probably 2001. Do you want to look it up? Or do you remember? I remember when I first heard that song, I'm like, that song is great. And nobody else liked it. Everybody's like, no, it's not going to be good. And then it ended up being, it was a big, really good song. Yeah, I remember that. But they were somewhat of a one-hit wonder for me. But music from that era, fantastic production. Fantastic music production. Production quality, production value, time, focus, all that, you know. Oh, the drums. Thank you at Sound Source. I haven't even put up my best drum mixes yet, so thanks. That's like the stuff that I put up is mainly, most of my songs on here are just like my quick songs. I've done some drum mixes that were a lot better, especially when I when I'm thinking of that at the very beginning of the mix. Did you hear that? Of course I'm gonna beat up the guitar while I'm cleaning it and trying to polish it. I don't play the drums. I program drums and I sample drums. Primarily program. That's one of probably my strongest skill set is programming drums. Because I've been programming drums since 2000, probably, I don't know. 2005, since I've been a little kid. Because I had no choice. So I've like mastered like every single drum program. And fooled a few professional drummers. I know a lot of cool stuff that I do. But yeah, it's one of my strong skill sets. That and tuning. I do invisible tuning. I don't use auto tune ever. And also, yeah, a few other things. Yeah, that's one of them. That's one of the ones. I've used every program, though. Mastered all of those programs. So yeah, that's definitely one of my strongest skill sets. That and tuning. Really, really good at both of those. As far as with the computer. And actually, let me know what you guys would like to see. Because I do a lot of I can do comping, layering. We could do some stuff on a lot of different aspects of editing. Alright, so here we go. Time to put on the new strings. I have drum machines, and I also have drum samplers, and I also sample drums with computers, and I also will get, like, from time to time, I'll also get from time to time, like, a professional drummer to play the drums, and I'll mix it. Got a bunch of recordings in the studio about 8 songs that I did with a professional drummer that I haven't even mixed yet because I wasn't happy with the bleed of the cymbals. They changed the formula. Now, I've been buying these since I've been a little kid, okay? And every time when I open it, I'll smell it. Because it normally has this kind of nice, refreshing, almost like book smell to it. Now it smells like pure something else. Not good. Like, like carcinogens. Is that what you call those? Like something that will cause cancer or something. I'm surprised there's not a cancer warning label on this. They must have changed the formula. Let me know if anybody knows. Did they change the formula? Because it used to have a copper smell to it. Now it says nickel. So I'm wondering, is this 100% nickel now? To save money? Exactly. Varn Klitsch. I think this is not the same formula. First of all, it's all nickel, and nickel is much cheaper than copper. And they used to be, I think, before it was a blend. I could be wrong on that part. But the smell, it smells like pure chemical now. It doesn't, not good. That's already getting off to a bad start. That's the first time that's happened with these strings. You said they used to be, yeah, the still was different before. Yeah, I've been like watching all, okay, so I don't know if you guys do this, but I have like go-to products that I've been getting for years, all different stuff. It could be a lotion, it could be whatever. And I've been lately, all this year, I've been checking the labels because I've been noticing they've been like replacing the stuff with like cheaper stuff, with the foods, with the lotions, and stuff just isn't the same. So you think you're buying the same high quality thing. The winding, okay, I have to concentrate for this part. So the key with stringing the guitar, the winding goes before the string. Now that sounds easy enough. I've been tuning, somebody's gonna make fun of me for this. I already feel this coming. I have been stringing my guitar since I've been a little kid, right? Usually about once a month. Sometimes it'll be several months, like with this guitar. Every single time I go to restring my guitars, I forget how to do it. I must have changed guitar strings like, I don't know, 1,000 times. I don't know, at least 300 times. And I forget every single time. So hopefully I do it the right way. I actually made myself 2 little videos years ago so I could do it perfectly because I had it down so perfectly. And now that it's been months, I'm like, how do I do this guitar again? Because that one is totally different. All right, so this is a little embarrassing. So if I do a bad job, I'll end up restringing it a little later. But I promise you, I have forgotten this, how to, because that one has a lock on the guitar and it has a different system. A lock on the back, and okay, I think I'll get this right. Okay, so, and I mean, there's like multiple ways you could string a guitar, but the winding goes before the string and I put it above. Oh, great. Never mind, I'll wait and do that part later. 1, 2. I mean, I'm very transparent. Like, I'll tell you, I don't know what it is about, I've always forgotten. How do I do my guitar? It's like I've been doing this since I've been a little kid. Will always forget my little perfect formula that I had years ago. You said you love tune lockers? Yeah, that one has it. It's faster. And it's like neat, but with this one, it's like, plus I'm on live. I don't know what it is about live, where I'm like kind of focused on the live, and I'll sometimes make mistakes, but oh well. You said the ratio lockers. Oh, you just got a Fender? Nice. That was one of my first guitars, was a Fender. You said you always go back to the same video to remember how to restring. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I have no idea what, and I made my own video. I'm not going to put it on YouTube or anything because it's kind of embarrassing, but I made, because I finally had it down. When I used to tune it every single, change strings every single month, I had it down to like a perfect science where I would get a super clean, it looked like it came out of the factory look. So what are you guys doing today? Anything fun? Did anybody have, oh, happy Labor Day. Hopefully everybody is off today, right? At home. I feel like I need to start over. I mean, I could try doing it this way, but it's gonna be a little weird. If I break an E string, could you imagine? Like, I'll roast myself. I'll troll myself if I break an E string, the low E. I really will. All right, let me just take it off because I know I did that wrong. I should have just like cheated. I should just watch my little video that I recorded. Like, okay, that's how you do it. And then came on and made it look like I do this like every day. No, haven't changed the guitar strings on this in a long time. You said you made a little video too when you changed your strings so you can remember. It helps. That, and if with the hardware sometimes I'll do that too with certain things. If I have a setting a certain way. All right, let me start over with this part. There was a certain way I like it. I think I twist it twice, usually. Put it through. Let's see how I like this. I've never broken an E string in my life, but that'd be... Seeing what I already did at the beginning of this live with the oil. All right, I got it. It's on now. Should hold it up. I'll tune it later. Now, I do have a winder. Now, if you guys use winders, you'll know it's very oh, this is the winder. It's the capo. Where's the winder? It's very easy to break your guitar strings if you're using a winder and you're moving too fast. So sometimes I won't really use it, but it does speed up the process a lot. You just go like this and then, you know, just turn it. I left way too much string on. All right, let me just put it on the thing. Yeah, I know, I grab a capo. That should not be in the bag because now this has to be washed. Yeah. I must have thought it was the winder and threw it in the wrong bag. So we're good. That's on good enough. So now I'm going to cut the wire. Yeah, I'm using a couple of amps. I actually have a video where I show the amps. And I'll be showing the amps a little bit in the next video too. I have one amp. Actually, I have two amps technically, but I don't use the other one. I have, well, 3 amps technically. I have one main amp that I use and 3 cabinets. My PV solid state, I converted that into a cabinet, and I have a switcher box so it can go back and forth, which is fun. Yeah, I've got to wash the capo, exactly, because guess what bag it got next to? That's going in the trash. That's some penny pinching stuff. I really was trying to hold on to that oil. I was really trying to hold on to that oil. I was like, I'll put it in a new bag. It'll be fine. No, you saw what happened at the beginning. That oil was done. Why don't I use a low box? I have a low box RLs. If you can crank up the amp and the mic, just wait. What you're saying? I know I have it. I've got a couple of things for guitar. I don't know why. Let me read that again. IRs. Impulse responses? You're saying, why don't I just use a low box and impulse responses? I'd rather create my own impulses. I'm kind of weird about stuff like that. I like creating my own stuff. My own vibrations. My own... Like, if I do this, I want that in my own stuff. Not somebody else's that they recorded and then I sample it. I like my own air. My own vibrations. I'm very big on that stuff. I don't want digital sampled vibrations and air. Because, you know, years later, it'll be nice to have the raw sound. Yep, I'm using the famous green pack of Ernie balls. Yep. Well, I don't know how famous anymore because with them changing this formula like this, I think I'll be switching strings. Yeah, you know where I do use IRs though, where I do that stands for impulse response. I use them sometimes with bass. It's bomb with bass. Because with bass, I don't use a cabinet. So that's where that setup that you described, so I'll do that with bass. Since I don't have an Ampeg cabinet, I would, you know, I use the impulse responses and virtual guitar amps for the bass and a pedal, virtual pedal, never mind. You said, can you hear the speaker moving? When I love IRs with bass. Have you tried it with bass before? It sounds really, really good. Or have you heard it with bass before? Yeah. I know he's just joshing, but I love organic air. Pulsations and vibrations with the analog equipment. So I try not to use I'm laughing because I'm doing some silly stuff over here winding the string. Yeah, I can. I can do that. So what brought you to my channel originally? Or you're just like, you see a chick that you're like, I'm about to roast this girl. What is she doing with that tape machine? What is she doing with that amp? And you're about to like try to go in on me? I kind of enjoy when people try to start fights with me. It is funny sometimes, but I haven't gotten too much of that. Most people, you guys are really nice. Hi, how are you? But what isn't nice is me sweating constantly. Not sweating, but like shiny from the... It's 7 o'clock and it's still probably like 95 degrees. Well, you're on my official YouTube music channel, so I don't know what kind of music you listen to, or if you've already heard my music before. That is really cool that you want to know the history of the pieces behind me. That's something most people would be kind of like. All right. Let me make sure this is in the right order. Okay, we're good. Hi, how are you? Humans talk so weird nowadays. Where are you from, Matt? I'm not used to that. The next video is gonna have a little bit of rhythm guitar in it. Right now I'm adjusting my guitar strings, playing them on. But I'm not, gonna stop everything right now. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Thank you for the gifts. Oh, it looks like you guys like the live. Thank you so much for liking the live. You have to, I think, double tap the screen to like the live. Appreciate that. And thank you for following as well, if you haven't already followed. And hanging out. We just ask that you're respectful and polite because we want it to be positive. Especially with music, something that's creative, it's always best to keep it light. I don't want to, no judge, like not people feeling like they can't ask questions or it's bad if they're learning or if they're just interested in music, and don't want anybody to feel uncomfortable. I want everybody to feel like they are able just to relax. If you don't know about certain analog gear, if you don't know about certain equipment, if you're new, if you're recording, interested, mixing, mastering, and production, you will not be judged. I know it's very, very tricky sometimes when you're first getting into mixing, mastering, and music. If you like my music, that is awesome. I'll have a lot more music up soon and performances. Oh, thank you, Dandy. Nice to see you. Yeah, sometimes if you're learning about new gear, asking questions about new gear, it can be a little tricky. So I want it to be light. Keep it nice and light. As long as we don't talk about converters. I remember the biggest debate with music a couple of years back. Fortunately, I missed this one. Was the analog versus analog, digital, and analog converters. People used to go on forums like Reddit and get in huge debates and battles over which ones were the best. That was crazy. That was hot. Those arguments were heated. I'm like, ooh, I'm glad I didn't get involved in those. The other hot topic, analog versus digital. For a while. Gosh, and there was one more that was pretty popular. The Behringer 1073 preamp. You said you would love to see me review those. I don't have a Behringer 1073 preamp. That sounds awesome though. Behringer's made in Germany, right? Well, Germany / China, I believe, or something like that. have any Series 500 preamps? You know, the difference between going Series 500, which are the little boxes, by the way, they're about the same size as this little guy. The Series 500 versus the full rack, that was a huge decision. But I found that the full rack units tend to have more power, don't you think? They tend to be a bit meatier. And Series 500s, although you can save a lot of money, I knew that if I went down the Series 500 rabbit hole, I'd probably end up with like way too much. So, I decided to stick with the full rack units. That way I would kind of be limited to what I could all get. So I didn't end up with like, you know, 15 compressors and 12 EQs. I still really want the mag EQ. There's a few pieces of gear that I really want. I want the mag EQ. I want the Fatso compressor made by Kush. I want the Heritage. Which one was it? I forgot what it's called right now. I have a whole list of stuff that I still want. But because I have rack units, it kind of limits me to what I can all fit. Which kind of works out. It forces you to use stuff. You said it all depends on what. Hi, Redskin. Red. I'll just call you Red. He was asking about. Hi, Leonardo. Sorry if I missed any comments. I apologize. Oh, thank you, Off Shift. Appreciate that. I agree with you at Source. Absolutely. Oh, Red, he was asking about, so I'll explain. So when you have like something like this, a lot of times they'll make something like this in the full size like that, but they'll also make little ones. Like the little ones are like the size of this, but they're supposed to pack the same amount of power and they're a fraction of the price. So like a quarter of the price, quarter of the size, and supposedly the same amount of power, right? That sounds like an incredible deal. But what I find is it seems like it's missing a little bit of the power, at least for, and you know, so that's what we were discussing. He was asking me if I would want to review one of those or try one of those or what I think of them. Anybody did anybody cook any barbecue today for Labor Day? I'm a pescatarian, which means I don't eat meat, well, except for fish. But there were some people having barbecues and it does smell good, I'll admit. Exactly, Red. Yep, they make them in mainly for equalizers and for EQs. I mean, I'm sleepy. Equalizers and compressors. And for, yeah, similar stuff to that. I do want to try the Series 500, the tape simulator. It's supposed to simulate sounding like a tape machine. I think I've seen a couple of reviews on that. I think something might be wrong with this pickup because I'll show you what happened. Or did I break it? Or is this just normal? Look at this. I know somebody's going to end up chiming in. Let's be nice. You see right here, it looks a little almost like it's, something looks a little strange. Like, it's almost like it's melting or cracked right there. I don't know. I don't think it's going to affect the sound because it's not on the pickup. You ate a lot of burgers today for Labor Day? That's awesome. That sounds delicious. I can eat vegetarian burgers and put those on the grill, but my vegetarian burgers are so An old radio, you said, with all the volumes, with all the knobs. Yeah, you could type in, you could look up Series 500. You'll see a picture of it. If you ever decide to get analog gear, great thing to know about those in advance, because a lot of people find they work way better for their setup, especially if you're working with limited space. You want it neat and clean, and you want to get more bang for your buck, more variety. Great for hybrid mixing. What? You said barbecue and brisket. Ooh. How many channels are on my console right here? I believe 24. Or is it 30? 32. Let's just double check. 32. I wanted the 24 originally, but I ended up with the 32. The 32 was actually cheaper, and when I got it, it was brand new, which is incredible. Seeing it came out in, I think, like 2000. Brand new. That was insane. I was like, whoa. Alright, I think it's clean enough. Fortunately, with this wood, it doesn't really matter that much. I have a Mackie mixer, the 1604 VLZ, I think it's called. Those things are kind of fun. The prices went down on those so low. It's nuts. You can get one of those now for a third of what I spent on it a few years back. But if you're just starting off with a mixer, I recommend, I hear great things about the Allen Heath. Great things about the Allen Heath. And they're small. Some people might say, what about the SL6? That's right over here. I don't recommend that for a, like a workhorse mixer. That's a good second mixer to have if you have special uses for it. But a standalone mixer, I would like to hear what you guys think about that. I don't know if I would use a SSL6 as a standalone mixer if that was my only mixing board. You said, looks like I'm going to try to fly a spaceship behind me with the console behind me. It does look like a spaceship in here. It does. Yeah, it's kind of weird. All right. Dang, they're playing that song by Carlos Santana. Somebody's having a barbecue, probably. Yes, that is nice that they built the G comp in. Absolutely. The very limited G comp. Yeah. I want the other. I'll be getting some more SSL. I did a lot of free endorsement on my last video because some of these companies, I'm just glad that they're making stuff still. Like, thank you guys for holding on in business. Maxell, not Maxell. One of the biggest cassette tape manufacturers just started back up again a couple years ago. I'm like, thank you guys for that. Start making brand new units. If you can tell me what it is, you get 2 points. which tape company that was. The #1 tape company, based out of Japan. It wasn't Tascam. It was I don't want to butcher it. Was it RCA? I don't think it was RCA. That's really close. Was it Sony? No, it wasn't Sony. I'll have to look it up. I was really surprised. It's kind of like Kodak. They started making the Polaroids again a few years ago, like in 2016. Something like that. The old-fashioned Polaroid cameras. And now they're saying they're going out of business. Unfortunately for Polaroid. And I was so excited because I was going to, well, I like Polaroid. Everybody loves, was it Polaroid or Kodak? Kodak makes Polaroid? I don't know, something like that. I'm sleepy, so bear with me. I love the SSL6. SSL6 is one of those pieces of gear that if you don't have a lot of gear and you don't want to have to buy a lot of stuff, SSL6 has a built-in EQ, built-in compressor, a good smooth sound, and amazing preamps. So I like it a lot. Why do I feel like I'm probably turning this the wrong way? Let's just hope that's the right way. Let me get the winder out. Use the Akai. I love Akai. Akai is awesome. Who doesn't love Akai? Is there anybody that doesn't? I don't think there's anybody that's like, I don't like Akai. That'd be funny though. That'd be hecka funny if it was like one random person one day like, I can't stand Akai. Akai is epic. If you guys aren't familiar with Akai, they're the ones that make the MPCs, legendary drum machines. I know, right? No, it's just the lack of sleep. I've been up since yesterday. So about 24 hours. I don't know why I have a theme of it's like, oh, 6 no sleep, get on live. Don't start. There's like a 5% chance as soon as I get off live, I'm gonna look at my guitar and say, what the heck did I do? And then retune it all, and it'll be restrung perfectly probably in 5 minutes. Heat, light, no sleep, and tuning and stringing a guitar. Yep, great combination. You said Kai will always have a customer in you. Yeah, Kai is awesome. I want more Kai, but Kai is one of those. I have one little bitty thing that they made, like a little tiny mini drum machine. The newer ones. The pads, wow, amazing. But the thing about the Akai is I don't want to go down the Akai rabbit hole and end up with way too much, end up, you know, not really using it that much. me get out the winder. Now, using the winder on the high E, very good chance that the string is going to break. Unless you're moving very slow. Why do I feel like I'm probably tuning this, probably tuning it the opposite direction, but whatever. This is one of the worst jobs I've done stringing a guitar. Second worst. The other one was when I was trying to, I was on live as well. Both times. I don't know what it is about live. I start doing weird stuff that I normally don't do. When I string my guitar. It's alright, it's all good. Yeah, I mean, we can joke, but I don't joke around too much. The whole point is, this isn't a tutorial. The whole point is me, like, getting to, talking to you guys. But yeah, if I was off camera, I'd probably get this done in about 8 minutes. Yeah. So a few of you follow me on Instagram, that's cool. Sometimes I'll go on Instagram, check out some of your guys' stuff. I'm like, wow, way cool. Oh, also, if you're ever stringing a guitar, if you're new and you're watching this, new to stringing a guitar, when you're doing the high E, always give it a little bit of a break before it, like, twist it a little bit, then wait. Then wait. So you don't hear that pop, and then have to get a brand new string, and you'll be mad. I'm going to leave it right there for now. And it doesn't hurt to not go all the way up in pitch and just give it a couple of minutes and then finish it. So it gives the string enough time to stretch out. That way you don't break any strings. And the strings will last a long time. Oh, thank you, Matt. Mont Sukakat. Where are you from? Sometimes I get people, a lot of people from Russia because I don't know. Maybe they sense I speak a little bit of Russian. I have a cool story about that. When I was in college, I took American Sign Language. But I met some new friends in Russia online, and they were so nice. And they spoke English. I didn't speak English. I mean, that's how you know I'm tired. They spoke English, but I didn't speak Russian. Sorry. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to learn a little bit of Russian so I can talk to my friends better. How sweet. And when I took my Russian class in school, they were like, why are you learning Russian? That's so weird. Nobody, like, there's like nobody in the class. Like me and like 3 people. And then that was in like 2020. 2021. But I did learn Russian. And I made a few videos in Russian talking to my friends on there. And some of them, that's why we have quite a bit of people that speak Russian, I think. Some of them came over from that to my YouTube, which is cool. I'm in California. Speak a little bit of Russian. I haven't practiced in a while. It's a really pretty language. Like, it's super pretty. It's like so graceful, swan-like. And they say, another reason why I learned it is they said that if you learn a little bit of Russian, that all the other languages are way easier. Because it's, I think they, at the time I took it, they said it was the second hardest language. So I was very proud I could speak a little bit. So I have a little video I posted on my other platform where I'm speaking Russian. It's funny. We have a large population from there, though, here in Southern California. Anyways, what languages do you all speak? I want to learn Spanish, though. I took a year or two of Spanish in high school and in middle school, but ever since then, I haven't practiced too much. Just a little bit. You speak French? Way cool. I also want to learn French. Let's see, I want to learn, so I know how to speak Russian, but I want to brush up on Russian. I want to definitely learn how to speak Spanish. I want to learn how to speak Portuguese. And also French, German. I think that's about good. So this is a poorly strung guitar, but it is done. These are fresh, brand new strings. It looks cleaner. I'm gonna, when I go through and tune it off camera, I'll go through and clean this up and make it look better and make sure everything is secure and sounding good. Check the neck, make sure I don't need an alignment, which I don't think so. Or a setup, I mean. I am right-handed. Yep, right-handed. Whew, boy, oh boy. I look sleepy. You said, yeah, the camera's backwards right now because I'm not on the big camera. It's just a vertical live stream, so it's funny how bad of it, well, it's alright, it'll be alright. I am so tired. Had I been awake, I probably would have gotten this done in 10 minutes. I don't know why, like, it's crazy how when you're tired, I've got an early morning appointment, and it was one of those things where I didn't want to go to bed super early and then like be super tired at the appointment. I don't know if you ever had that happen, so I'm like, I'm going to force myself to stay up longer so I don't wake up too early. One of those things. Yeah, it's my real hair. No extensions, no weave. I stopped wearing weave a couple years ago. But I'm tempted to like put it on for different colors. I don't know, like I might get like a dramatic, you would know, is it like, how did your hair turn bright purple overnight, you know? But no, this is my real hair. And it's really messed up right now because it's very hot. So I hope you guys have a great rest of the night. Yeah, I like how my hair looks a lot better in the winter when it's cool. I'm sleepy. I guess I'll go ahead and head to sleep. I hope you have an awesome, amazing rest of the night. Oh, use Kool-Aid when you dyed your hair? We won't be able to do that soon because of the new policies against the red dye. I did that once. I thought about doing it again, but when you use Kool-Aid, it dyes everything. Your hands, your nails, everything, your skin. But yeah, hope you guys have an awesome rest of the night. Look at it. See, my hair's turning curly. That's how hot I am. It's getting curly. It was straight when I started off. Which is, I guess that's cool. I hope you guys have an awesome rest of the night. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're able to make it and catch the stream. Yeah, you hate the rain? Oh yeah, I don't like the rain. Fortunately, we only get rain like twice a year out here. So I don't usually have to worry about that too much. But yeah, it was hot. I hope you have an awesome, amazing rest of the day. Thank you so much for hanging out. Hopefully next time I come on live, I'll have a lot more energy and I'll be well rested. And thanks for hanging out while I bumbled around. I mean, I think what threw me off was this, starting off with this. I think that was mistake number one. This is going in the trash right now. I hope you have an awesome, fun, great, amazing rest of the day. Should I throw away this? Oh, gosh. Yeah, I probably should. Have a great rest of the night. And until next time, thanks so much for hanging out. Yeah, technical difficulties. Yeah. All right. Have a great rest of the night. Bye-bye. Happy Labor Day.